What's going on, bros? The concept of today's discussion is 2 days makes a habit. I want to briefly go over a few points of why I think it's important in order to build good habits and as well as to break away from bad habits. So, the first thing is there will be variance in effort and difficulty when doing this. So, and what I mean by that is basically everybody starts at level 1. No one goes from doing no exercise, sitting on their butt, playing video games, doing, nothing, to all of a sudden lifting 7 days a week, running 7 days a week, and doing all this activity, right? You build up to it, and the core concept of 2 days makes a habit is to just build the foundation. So in order to build up to it and build that foundation is you have to just show up. That's like creating the true habit and developing the skill that is make or break for achieving incredible results in the end. And that skill is consistency. And I do believe consistency is a skill. Just to show up and be like, no matter what, this is going to happen. It may not happen, and this is where what I'm talking about in the first point of there could be a variance in effort and difficulty, right? So if you're on a bulk, it's going to be a lot different than when you're on a cut, because the goals and what you're trying to do are very vastly different. So a roundabout, you want to keep your muscle regardless of whether you're bulking or cutting. You want to build muscle on a bulk, but you just want to maintain the muscle you already have on a cut. That's most people's philosophy. Unless they're a beginner and they're capable of doing I'm sorry, I don't know why it's lost on me. Oh my God, a recomp, Jesus Christ. Unless they're trying to do a body recomp and they're a newbie and they have that capability, then they're basically going to want to either build muscle or retain it. But the variance in effort and difficulty change based on those two goals. But the showing up and being consistent is what drives results either way. And even on days that you don't go hard and you show up, that means you conquered the hardest part of fitness, in my opinion. What separates the great divider amongst those who have incredible physiques and those who are mid is consistency and the amount of effort in that consistency. So point 1 is there's going to be a difference in effort and difficulty. Point 6 is there's a great divider in just that category alone. You have showing up, there's a great divider there, and then the second divider I think that's going to really drive the vastly different results are the effort put. So you can just show up and not do really shit, but you're still going to have some results. Whereas if you show up and give 100% effort, what you put in, you get out, basically. I think everybody knows that concept. This concept of 2 days makes a habit can be applied everywhere. Lifting, cardio, dieting, fitness, relationships. If you want to get better at something, just tell yourself, I'm going to do it today and tomorrow. No excuses. And then day 3 becomes so much easier. It's just like habit forming bad things. Think about if anybody who's been addicted to something, think about the time that you were addicted to something and got off of it. When you got into it, you did it once, and then you did it twice, and then you did it the third day, and then you did it the fourth day, and then it just became a habit. Well, the same concept works the other way for good things as well. You want to do something rather than just abstaining from stuff. This can also be applied to doing something. You go to the gym one day, you go to the gym the next day, and then before you know it, you have created the habit of going to the gym. The one thing I will say about that is a lot of people go on vacation and they take days off. And so that's where that can be dangerous. You know, they take one day off, they take 2 days off, and then before you know it, they haven't been to the gym in 2 weeks. So you got to be mindful of this concept working both for good and for bad. And you have to sometimes recreate the habits. You know, think about when you come out of a cut and then you start to maintain and you go back to maintenance in the summer between June through September, right? That's like most people's maintenance phase. At least that's my maintenance phase, all the way to the end of October, actually. So like think about that. You go through maintenance phase, you come back up in calories, and then you start to your bulk in the winter, and then you cut again. These are periods where you have to reform the habit again. You've always been going to the gym. You go to the gym all year, or you know I do, and then like gym goers go to the gym all year, but that you create new habits and micro habits within those habits, if that makes any sense. So the key takeaway from this is 2 days makes a habit. Give yourself 48 hours. Just showing up is the hardest part of fitness. And if you can do that, that's going to be the first great divider between people who have good physiques and not so good physiques. And then the next divider is effort, which is going to be an incredible physique versus a mid physique or just shitty physique. So even on days that you don't go hard and you show up, you've conquered the hardest part of fitness. These are the concepts that have driven results for me, and I truly believe that if you have this in your head, you will never fall off the wagon. You may go on vacation. You may, have to take a few days off. Like you may get injured one day and may not be able to go for a month or whatever it may be. But if you have this in your head, I only need to go for 2 days. I only need to go to the gym for 2 days and then I'm back on. I only need to run this diet for 2 days and I'm on. You will be unstoppable. I promise. So with that said, that's all for today. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And until next time, peace.